Hello, guys. I'm early today. I actually said I was going to go live at 2:30, but I just got home and I have an hour to kill before I go pick up my child from school. So, I wanted to pop in now and I wanted to get this off my chest. I've been thinking about this all morning, last night, on how can I serve you guys the best when it comes to what's going on right now, and just showing up as best as I can. Right? I want you guys to be able to show up for your groups on the same level, if not better, than I'm showing up. Right? Now, you guys know I work full time Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm a nurse. I work in the hospital. And things are happening. Things are happening so fast. And all I want to do is sit here and help you, my group. And I don't even think about how am I going to help my email list? How am I going to help my Facebook page? How am I going to help my Instagram? That's just me. Hey, Raphael. Excuse me. So all I want to do is to come in here and help you guys so that you can experience that, where you are that light, that enjoyment, that person, that group, that people are coming to spend the time that is not in panic and not in anxiety, that they are actually gaining knowledge, but really gaining a sense of community in your community. And so again, all I want to do is come in here and spend time with you so that you have the tools to be able to do that. But my time is limited, so I have to jump on here when I can. That being said, I am still back at the hospital on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this coming week, which is just crazy to think of, that people are still having elective surgeries. So I just have to do it. I would love to be here for you guys all day, all night. But I know that you guys don't have the capability of doing that either for your own groups. So I want to teach you how to show up for your group and not be on social media all the time. Here's the value I see in, I know this is just crazy, but there is value in seeing what's going on right now, right? One piece of value is understanding just how the community works and just how social media can be, but also how social media can be in our defense. Like it can be an enjoyable environment and a place that we want to spend time in, not a place that we go, oh my God, every time I'm going to log in, I'm going to see this sense of panic and anxiety. And maybe I have that same panic and anxiety, but we have the opportunity here as group owners to be that light and to be that community where people say, I don't want to look at the feed. I want to look in your group because you're showing up for me as best you can and just showing up as yourself. I want you guys to take that algorithm talk out of your mind. I just saw a post that popped up. That was an old post, and someone had said, well, the algorithm in a Facebook group is better than the algorithm on a Facebook page. And I'm the one that argues with that, because it's not that the Facebook puts more weight on the group algorithm. It's what is a group and what is a community versus what is a page, right? That in itself works in your advantage with the Facebook algorithm. It's not that Facebook says, okay, groups we're going to play more weight on, pages we're not. We're going to pay to play, right? Yes, there's probably some of that involved, but I'm telling you guys that the way that your group interacts with each other is how the algorithm works. So if you can create a group where you are not only creating that conversation, remember, those of you that got the conversation starters last week, use them, because you will start to develop those conversations. It's not just one conversation and then you hope and pray that people are going to show up. The more consistently you show up having a conversation, the more consistently your members are going to see that, and then you will be rewarded by Facebook showing those conversations, okay? So I don't want you guys to say, well, I'm putting out a conversation post and nobody's showing up. It takes more than that. But here's an opportunity. Bye, Frenchie. Here's an opportunity for you guys to create a safe space for your members to be on social media and not be inundated with this scare. I mean, it's a true scare, right? But we can be the light if we have a Facebook group and if we show up with a plan, okay? Now, this kind of leads me into the conversation about how I manifested that Chromebook, okay? So, you have a plan for your Facebook group. You have a strategy, right? You have a strategy on, well, hopefully you do. If you don't, then you need to be in my next course launch. But if you don't, if you have a strategy that you know exactly who the people are that are coming into your group, why they're there, what your group looks like, feels like, and acts like, then you can show up accordingly when it comes to your content creation, right? So myself, I've always had a plan. I've always had a strategy, but there's one thing that I typically miss, and that is big conversions. I am no different than you guys, okay? I know how to show up, create community, create this amazing, amazing place to be. I know how to create a strategy around that. I know how to get people to talk. I know exactly the Facebook group psychology around that. But one of those things that I've struggled with is that fast, I guess you could say fast money, right? Is converting on a regular basis where it's not compromising who I'm showing up as. And I'm not working against, my goal in life, and that is to make sure that you guys are running your Facebook groups amazing and the way that I love to run them. But, I don't want to do this for free forever. So I spent really the last 2 years building my community and really not attached to any sort of outcome. I launched my conversation starters a year and a half ago. I brought that back out again, right? But I rarely sell in my group. And it's bothered me, and I have, I have my plan and I have my strategy. So I myself, as one that's always learning, I'm really learning how to integrate my conversion strategy into my Facebook group, right? I'm always a student and I always will be. So I'm learning how to integrate my conversion strategy into my Facebook group because I have spent so much time building this amazing community with the exact people I want in here. And I spent the time doing it, I spent the effort doing it, and I spent the time and effort without being attached to any sort of monetary value. What I really did was for 2 years, I tested products and services and courses, right? To see what fills the gap. But for myself, I've never really been like, oh yeah, I'm just like a, money making machine. Maybe that's just not me. So this is going to get me to the point, guys. So I was having a conversation with my friend Sherelle, who I bother every day in my Facebook Messenger. I'm just kidding. I don't bother. We bother each other. It's great. I love it. I couldn't be more happy. Now, how did I meet Sherelle? I met Sherelle in a Facebook group. Okay. So not only did this, I can attest this to my own Facebook group, but I can attest this to the relationships that I've built outside of my own Facebook group. Like, you guys, like, Facebook groups are really the way to go, right? This is my point. And I'm going to tell you why. So not only was I having this conversation with Sherelle about, conversions and, making that sale in my Facebook group. She happened to ask me the question, have you done any, money mindset work in the past? And I said, well, I do well with money, and I always have done well with money. And, but I never really thought I had a problem with money. So, okay. So she made me think. She made me think about money mindset. She mentioned the fact that she teaches money mindset in her course. And, so I started to think about this, right? I started to really think, okay, it's time. It's time for me to dig into money mindset, right? I'm going to mute myself on here. Okay. It's time for me to dig into money mindset. So what did I do? I looked up money mindset. I looked up, what people are saying in Facebook groups. And I came across, I'm sure some of you may know her, Denise Duffield. Denise, help me out, guys. You know who I'm talking about, because I know you all know her and I didn't. I'm looking it up right here. Lucky bitch. Denise Duffield Thomas. So I go into my Audible and I say, okay, it's time for me to fix my money mindset when it comes to my own Facebook group. Hey, Sherelle, I'm talking about you. Okay, I'm going to go back a little bit. Chillpreneur. I'm going to go back a little bit and I'm going to share this because I know that Sherelle mentioned this. Like, how did me manifesting this Chromebook have anything to do with my Facebook group? I'm going to go back. So what I was talking about was, spending the time, spending the effort in my Facebook group, growing this community for 2 years, right? Testing out product, service, see what you guys like, see where the gaps are. But I never really put together my system for conversion. I have my system for growing relationships, growing a community, that why people show up. I started this video talking about the algorithm and how that has nothing to do with your Facebook group and whether Facebook puts a priority on groups or not. It has everything to do with how the community acts and having a strategy behind that. And I was saying how my own conversion strategy has been lacking. And that's where I wanted to spend my time. And so with a conversation with you, Sherelle, you had said, have you done any money mindset, work? And I said, well, no, because I do well with money. I'm like, I have a nice house. I have a nice car. I have a retirement. I have all of that, right? But I don't have a system for conversion in my Facebook group. So I said, I need to go down that money mindset road. And I did mention that you had said you taught money mindset. I was like, okay, so I need to do this. So I looked up Denise, Denise, let me say it again, Denise Duffield Thomas, and I downloaded her book, Lucky Bitch. Okay. So I'm listening to her book on my commute to work. And she sucked me in with her accent, right? And I don't know if you guys have listened to her at all, but she sucked me in. And I just kept pulling at words and words. And I was like, okay, yes, this is really connecting with me. And she was talking about windfalls. She was talking about tracking your income that comes in. Now, you guys, I don't rely on my Facebook group business income because I have a full-time job, and that's allowed me to really build a community and really test my own strategies with you guys. So, and here it is time to say, okay, now it's time to kill it with Facebook groups and get a conversion strategy. But what Sherelle told me is I need to dig down that money mindset. So I'm listening to this, and she's talking about windfalls, and she's talking about tracking your income. And I realized that I had been doing that where a check would show up, and I would be like, "Thank you, universe, for this check," and they would show up, and I don't look at my bank account and like worry. There were days that I did. There were plenty of days that I did. But I learned, I don't know where I learned it, but I learned that every piece of income that comes in, I'm like grateful for. Okay. So every single conversation starter on that flash sale that came across, I was like, thank you, universe. I'm so happy that I have $17 in my account, right? I literally thanked the universe for every one of you that felt that this was going to help you. So I'm listening to her and she's saying, you know, track your income, be grateful, pay attention to what you're getting, and, you know, basically thank the universe. And she said, even those things that are not monetary, and here I am on my drive home, trying to think of things that I've received that are not necessarily monetary, but would be considered a gift. So her story was that she had been gifted or won all of these amazing things, like to travel around the world for free, right? For a year. Like these amazing gifts that were not monetary. So I was like, I wonder, let's see, let me think about this. So I'm driving home and I'm thinking about these things, right? I walk in the door and I get a phone call. And there's another reason why I attest this to the Facebook group. Not only is it my conversion strategy and making money on my group or making money on my service, but it has a lot to do with my own personal life. So I decided last week that while my business is an amazing distraction from what's going on in my life right now, I'm really trying to find myself a life outside of work, my kids, and my business. I'm really trying to find friends, okay? I know that sounds so crazy, but it's the truth. 21 years later, I realized I don't have really close friends in person. So I said, I'm going to make this decision. I'm going to join this club. It's called the Paseo Club. And it's always been this club that it's been out of reach, like way too expensive to join. It's a tennis club. It's a fitness club. It's a lifestyle club. They do events and all that. It's always been out of reach. But my friend who I work with, she and I have lived parallel lives for 20 something years. I bought a Tesla. She bought a Tesla. I am going through infertility. She's going through infertility. It's crazy how parallel. Anyways, she's part of this club. And I was like, maybe that's my issue. I need to get out. I don't want to go on a friends app and like find friends on an app. I need to see people in person, but what kind of people would I connect with? But, oh my God, the Paseo Club. I've always wanted to go back to playing tennis. I played tennis in high school. I walked on to my college tennis team, which was a Division I team. And I redshirted. If you guys don't know what that means, it means that you practice with the team and you don't play. And then I had a coach say, you need to lose weight and then you'll be able to play. And that was the end of my tennis career. So I stopped playing tennis years and years ago. Oh, my connection sucks. I don't know what happened. Okay, so I joined this Paseo Club. And there was a raffle. Let me close this. There was a raffle that happened. I didn't even think twice of it. In fact, I went with my daughter and my daughter filled out my name and I was like, wait, you need to put my phone number. She put my phone number in, I put it in. Usually when I do a raffle, I like bend the ticket a little bit, like hoping that they'll pull my thing out. I didn't think anything of it. They put the raffle in and that was it. So let me go back to my drive home. After listening to her, I'm trying to think of those non-monetary gifts that I've received. I get home and I get this phone call. And guess what? I won the freaking Chromebook. Like, I literally was listening to that. Why was I listening to that? Because I realized I didn't have my strategy around conversion and I really wanted to work on that. And Sherelle, whom I met in Facebook groups, said, you need to work on your money mindset. I was listening to that. I was working on that. I came home. I got a phone call and I won this Chromebook. So why does that happen? This is not clickbait, guys. The reason why I'm sharing this story is not even the money mindset. It's really, when I put my mind on focusing around my community and the strategy around my community, I have all the pieces with the exception of this one piece. And it's a piece that I really want to fix. There's a piece that I really want to get right. And that's what happens. So my Facebook group is exactly how I want it. You guys are exactly who I pictured being in here when I created my strategy. You guys are exactly who I picture showing up, how you show up. That is all part of how I planned my content around my community. Now, when it comes to what's going on right now in this crazy world, you guys have that opportunity to create this safe space for people. People are so scared to go on social media, but they have to because that's where the announcements are. I actually went and I'm supporting my local businesses right now. I went and ate breakfast yesterday at a small breakfast restaurant that we tend to go to, but not as often as a bigger family restaurant. Only because this couple that owns this restaurant has put their heart and soul into this restaurant. They've been robbed like 3 times. It's just what you want for people. So I dragged my daughter to this local restaurant yesterday. And then today, I got my nails done. And I wasn't fearing that because I feel bad for the people that are there showing up. These ladies drive 2 hours each way to show up to that nail salon to work, to serve me and getting my freaking nails done. So I'm tied to my phone looking and waiting for the announcements that are going to close my kids' school down, right? You guys are on social media because you have to be. And what do you see? You see panic and scare, but you also see information. So you have this unique ability and unique opportunity to be the light, right? If you want to call it play the algorithm game, be the community where you say, hey guys, this is a private, safe space. Go ahead, use those words. This is a private, safe space. And I know a lot of you are because you're sharing that in our group. That's what you're doing. That's how you're showing up for your groups. I'm speaking to you guys that are watching this that may not show up and may not talk. And I'm assuming that you're watching this because you want the answer and you want the strategy around this. It's a very weird and unique opportunity. Like I could totally take advantage of this. I know Sherelle is inundated with my crazy idea messages every freaking night. I get home, you guys, here's the funny thing. Okay, so again, if I hadn't met Sherelle in Facebook groups, then we wouldn't have this back and forth. We bounce things off of each other all day long. But when I'm at work all day, I get off of work and we're in a totally different time zone. So I get off of work and my ideas start flowing and I'm like, and she doesn't even see it until the morning. And then when I wake up in the morning, I have hangover regret. I'm like, oh my God, and I can't remove my message. Oh my God, I just spewed out all these ideas and she probably thinks I'm totally crazy. But I had all these ideas of like how I can, not even take advantage of the opportunity, but really just show people just how important groups are. How can I do that? And then with this whole like, how do I monetize my group better? You go down that road and I'm like, I just need to keep showing up how I show up. The rest will come. Okay. So you guys have this unique opportunity to be the light, to show up in your group, to make your group the way that you're going to build your business. Think of it, right? If you already had the light, if you already were the light, if you were already like, I feel like you guys are showing up on a Friday afternoon in this group because I feel like I've been the light. And I want you guys to feel the same way. I want you guys to have people showing up on a Friday afternoon because you've been the light, because you've created this space where you have what they need, but you also are yourself. You are a servant leader. You are there to serve them. For those of you who are service providers, I know all of you guys are because you're in my group. That's how I planned it. I know exactly who I wanted in this group, guys. That was part of my strategy. I want that for you. I want you to stop overthinking your group, even though I do. I just told you I do. I want you to stop overthinking your group. And I want you to create that space that's not reliant on any sort of outcome, that's not reliant on any sort of number of comments, number of likes. I want you to show up and create that same safe space because you know you want to. You want to create that place that people can go to because they have to be online. That you don't want them to be inundated with that stress and anxiety. So you have the opportunity to do that. And maybe it isn't around monetizing right now. Maybe it is just showing up. You can take what I took 2 years to do and build this community and this relationship to where I'm now going, okay, let's monetize this group. And you can take this opportunity where people are online and just spend the time building relationships, building community, and creating that strategy yourself. Because when things calm down, who are they going to turn to when it's time for them to take off in their business or whatever it is that you offer? Who are they going to turn to? They're going to turn to the people that they remember creating that light around this anxiety and this stressful environment. They're going to remember you. But if you don't do that now, you're going to be lost in the shuffle. They're going to be completely stressed out and not want to be on social media. And you're just going to be a number. You're just going to be someone in their email, right? So you have the opportunity. I watched my friend Joanna, who is a guru at community management. And this is just one of those things too. I met her in a Facebook group. She and I teach the same things. However, our audience are different. Okay. But we have the same philosophy when it comes to community and when it comes to how you show up in community. And I happened to watch an interview she did this morning. I don't get to see her stuff all the time, but they were talking about this, this safe space that you have, and you have this ability to bring people together. Again, if you can bring people together, you've mastered the group. Okay. So I feel amazing about my group. I feel amazing about the things that have shown up in my life because of my group and because of my community. And now I have a brand new Chromebook that I get to play with because I manifested it. In this time that things are crazy, my kids' school now is closed for a month. And I have to go into work on Monday because I have 3 surgeries that are still on the schedule that I have to show up for. I wish I could self-quarantine. I wish I could sit here and work on my business and be in my group, but you guys don't need all day to be in your group. Show up, be the light, create one amazing post a day, and talk to the people you hope or wish that are there. And if you do, you will start to attract the people that you want to be in there, and they will still see those posts, even if you see no love on them. I guarantee you that. Create that community. All right, you guys, have an amazing weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.